Hey everybody, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip. We're going to have a short one today, a short one compared to that last one was so long. This is episode 37 and a half, because apparently I'm no Ronald Reagan and I'm not a great communicator. I had a lot of friends who had questions and they were non-coaching friends. I was trying to do an episode in 37 trying to explain what RPOs are as football season's coming up in a few months. And yes, I'm claiming it right now. There shall be football. So let it be written. So let it be done. So today, what I'm going to do is do a little bit quicker, not quicker, but a little bit shorter, and just explain some of the questions that I got from some friends and acquaintances. And be sure to share this with your football fan friends. This episode, 37.5, or 37 and a half if you prefer the fractions. And also share yesterday, the day before's episode, 37, on explaining RPOs and just what they are. So when football season starts, you'll know what the heck they're talking about, and you'll also be the one that can say, that wasn't an RPO. You'll know. Hey, don't forget our sponsors. You got Johnny Bucket's podcast with Thrift Behringer. Great stuff. Go back and check out episodes 15 and 16 for sure. And that's wherever you get podcasts, on Spotify, Stitcher, and of course Apple Podcasts, and wherever else they do podcasts. I'm sure Buckets and Thrift are there. Also, Johnny's New York style pizza in beautiful, historic downtown West Point, Georgia, just 2 or 3 miles off of I-85 as you're going through from Atlanta to Auburn or from Auburn up to Atlanta. It's right there when you cross the Chattahoochee. Just get off the interstate right there and go down the road a piece, and you can't miss it in downtown West Point. It's Johnny's New York style pizza. See our friends Ben and all of his staff over there. They grew up loving pizza. Now they've made their passion their job, and they make the best store-bought pizza you're ever going to get. And that's as good as a compliment as you're going to get from a good old Coach Chip. And also, Tammy Pierce Realty. If you're looking to buy property or land or a home in West Georgia, that's Tammy Pierce Realty. Offices in downtown Pine Mountain, Georgia, and the big office is up down the road in Columbus, Georgia, at Bickerstaff Parham Real Estate, right there on Veterans Parkway, where they're building the new health center down in Columbus, Georgia. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk RPOs. Hey, real quick, remember what RPO means? RPO means run, pass, option. The quarterback has an option on whether to give the ball to the running back, or run it himself, or to throw the ball to a pre-designated, usually 1 or 2 receivers, based on what the defense gives them. By the way, any questions or comments, don't forget, siegel.chip@gmail.com, siegel.chip@gmail.com. I've got a new one. I wish somebody would try it. Football Talk with Coach Chip. Football Talk, no spaces, no dots, no dashes. Football Talk with Coach Chip @gmail.com. I want to start getting that rolling. I'm missing some emails sometimes because they get mixed in with the other stuff. All right, so back to the RPOs. All right, now one of the questions was like, how do they know who they're reading? Well, you got your inside RPOs. You've got your outside RPOs, which, inside, you're reading an inside linebacker like this one right here, okay? And you got your outside RPOs where you'd read one like this. Now remember, the quarterback needs to be, and I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but there needs to be facing the direction of the read, because he can't read out of the back of his head, y'all. All right, so on this one right here, it's a backside RPO, so it's a run play to the right. Okay, this is a kind of an inside zone with a wrap called, a fold call, whatever you want to call that, an X block between the backside guard, the left guard, and the center. All right, real quick. Backside means the side away from the play call. Front side means the side to the play call. So if the play is going to the right, that'd be the front side. If the play is going to the right, the left would be the backside. Okay, so this one here, it's a backside RPO. It means it's away from the run. So what we have done, we have told the line is just blocking their rules. Okay, they're blocking their rules. The quarterback is not looking at the running back. He knows on this one here, and somebody asked me, well, how do they know which one to read? The same way they used to back when we were kids, and We ran the triple option. They're reading the three tech, the defensive tackle, or they're reading the defensive end. The play tells them who they're reading, just like any other, play. You can have like one play and have 3 or 4 different RPOs based on what you call. We call that a tag. And I'm just going to make this up. All right, let's say we're going to call this dive right. Okay? Dive right. And we want to read the will, the backside, the will, the weak linebacker, W-I-L-L. All right, so we would just say, and I'm just going to use very generic terms here. All right, dive right, will. Tells the quarterback, you're reading the will. You can say it, you can signal it, you can sign it in, whatever it is you got to do. And that tells him that he is reading this guy. So he is just going to stick the football out when he gets the snap, just like he used to on the old triple option. And the running back is going to get over the top of it, and he is running this dive right here. Zone play, dive play, whatever you want to call it. Okay? The quarterback, while all this is going on, is reading this linebacker. If this linebacker steps right here, okay, he's going to throw it. Now, we talked about that in episode 37. All right, what you have to imagine, y'all, is if we're going to do a backside read, and you got to have rules. In life, you have to have rules. In football, you have to have rules. And I don't mean like holding and jumping off sides and all that kind of rules. I mean rules about what you do. The linemen have rules. Running backs have rules. Quarterback has rules. All right, the rule is, if it's a backside read, I drew this line right down the midline of the play, right down the center and the quarterback's middle, right here, this yellow line. Anything, since it's a right running play, anything to the left of that line is backside, okay? The rule is read the first linebacker backside. Read the first linebacker backside. That's a backside read. All right, let's mess with the defense a little bit, just for the heck of it. Let's move this end in here, and let's take the will and put him right here. Let's take the will linebacker and put him right here. Who's he reading? Let me get that out of the way. Who's he reading? Right, he's still reading the will. Because who's the first linebacker past that gold line, the middle of the play? Because remember, everything over here is backside. And his rule is, on a backside RPO, he's going to read the first linebacker backside. All right, let's really mess with it. Let's go kind of Ryan family here. Let's say he goes out here, and they take the outside backer and put him on the line. So now you got an old-fashioned 5-man line. We saw something like this, believe it or not, in the state championship game. Real talk. We really did. And who did he read? Right here. Because look, who's the first linebacker? Remember, we talked about this in episode 37. This is a second-level RPO. A second level read. Remember, we said the D line is the first level, the linebackers are the second level, the DBs, the safeties, and the corners, they're the third level. All right, this is a second level read. So we're running an inside RPO, a backside RPO. We're running a backside RPO. So we're reading the first linebacker backside. The play is to the right. I told you, it's dive right, zone right, whatever you want to call it. Gut right, wrap right, whatever you want to call your play. It's to the right. It's a backside RPO. The rule is, for the quarterback, read the first linebacker backside of the play. And so you got that gold line right there. So it doesn't matter what the defense does, the rule will hold up. Okay? It's going to be that first linebacker. All right, let's say, well, what if the quarterback gets confused? Remember what we said in last episode. Number one rule you teach the quarterback on an RPO. If in doubt, give to live. Give it to the running back. That's what it's in the name of his position, y'all. Running it. Give the ball to the running back. Let him run with the football. Okay? So the receiver is doing the same thing we talked about in the last episode. Number 2 receiver, we call him that. That's number 1 because he's the first one. That's number 2. 2 is running the slant. Okay? and he's looking to get open right in here in an area vacated by a linebacker. So if this linebacker here, if it was like this, stepped up or dropped back or whatever, did anything where the quarterback's rule is this: can that linebacker make a play on this pass? If he can't, pull it and throw it. Okay, simple rule, simple read rule. All right, out here on the outside, you got your number 1 running the under, which is a short inside route. Some of you NFL fans remember Peyton Manning and his receivers made a living off under routes right here. They'd do something to occupy the flat defender, and they'd come off hard, push that corner, and come underneath. So what you're doing, you come off hard, push that corner. We're doing an outside release on this one, so that corner will flip his hips and turn his butt to the play, and then you'll stick that cleat in the ground and come hard back underneath right here. Hard back underneath right here. So if something happens and this linebacker runs with the slant and takes it away, and the quarterback reads pass, he pops up, oh, it's covered, redirect my eyes right here. It's a real easy adjustment. He doesn't have to flip his hips and his feet and come back over here to this side or even in here. It's right here on the side. So just a few yards separating them. The corner, we've pushed him off, and there you go. All right, there's your inside RPO. I hope I've explained that pretty good. All right, let's go to, that's your backside RPO off an inside run. All right, let's go to a front side RPO. All right, now here you have a front side RPO that is still an inside RPO. And here's what I mean by that. We're still running a gap, and it's a front side RPO because notice it's a play going to the right, okay? Here's our gold line running right down the middle of the play. And on this one, we've told the quarterback, I'm just going to make up another call. All right, let's run. Zone right, dive right, wrap right, whatever you want to call the play, okay? Read the mic. Mike means middle linebacker, okay? You know why we give them all those cute names like Will and Mike? And by the way, this one over here is Sam, because S for strong, Sam. Mike is easier to say than middle linebacker, and Will is easier to say than weak linebacker, or whatever you want to call him. So we just give them cute little names. And coaches, we're like that, okay? All right, so plays running to the right. It's a front side RPO. Remember what we said, the front side is the side the ball's going to. The back side is the side away from the call. That's the back side of the play, the away side. We're running to the right, that'd be the left. We're running to the left, that'd be the right, back side. This is a front side RPO, front side. And so we're going to read on this one, since it's an inside RPO, we're going to read the first linebacker to the play side, okay? And notice we're blocking everybody except the guy we're reading. This guard right here is going to wrap and look to the will, because we're going to block him in case we give it to the running back. The line doesn't know, so they got to do their job. One of the reasons I love RPOs because they're the epitome of what Bill Belichick says, do your job. You know, it doesn't matter. They're the epitome of what Coach Madden, and you young people think that's Madden football, but no, he was a great football coach first for my team when I was growing up, the Raiders. He said, it doesn't matter if the horse is blind, load the wagon anyway. In other words, do your job. It doesn't matter about the horse. If your job is to load the wagon, load the cockeyed wagon, worry about how it's going to get there later. The world will be a much better place. Everybody just do their job and not try to do other people's jobs for them. By the way, you don't have a constitutional right to do somebody else's job. Just throw that out there for free. All right, so we're going to read the mic. If the mic steps up, quarterback's going to disconnect from the running back, stand up, and pop the H right here on this little hot route right here. He's bending in right there. Okay? And that's just a front side RPO. All right, we're getting up on 15 minutes here. And I said I'd be shorter, and I am. I want to do one more. I want to do an outside RPO. All right, here we go. Okay, now this is an outside RPO. We're running the ball outside. And also remember this, and I used this term last time. Some coaches say you want to put a defensive player in conflict. I've always said, call it the South Alabama boy in me, we'll put him in a bind. Same thing, put him in conflict. In other words, give him two things to do. Okay? And if he does one, then we're going to do the other. It's like a catch-22 for the defense. It's like good old triple option football. What if you read it right? Whatever that defensive player, the read player, the one you designated is, I'm going to put this guy in a bind. Okay? He's going to be wrong. Make the defense wrong when you learn to read it. And you got to practice these. You see your team, your favorite team running these, know they practiced it over and over and over again because it had to be second nature. One of the phone conversations I was having with one of my viewers was I was telling about how Tua, you could always see he never looked at the running back. That's one way to tell if it's an RPO. If he never looks at the running back, okay? If it's a straight run, he's going to look the ball in to the guy's gut. If it's a play action pass, he knows he's faking it and then going to drop back and throw it. He probably won't be looking at it. They may on a play action pass because he's trying to see what his read's going to be doing after he keeps it. The one surefire way to know is, are they run blocking the play? We talked about that in episode 37. All right, this is an outside RPO and a front side RPO. I didn't draw the gold line this time because we're reading out here. Excuse me. Now, the way I was taught to do it is you're going to read the force player. Now, how we define that right now, the way I look at it is that number 2 guy, this outside backer right here. He's the one that if he reads sweep action, he's going to come up. And if he does, then the quarterback will disconnect and throw it out here. Okay? He'll disconnect and throw it to the Y on the slant. Okay? If the read gets screwed up for whatever reason, because this guy comes up, and when he goes to throw it, this guy's coming here to cut it off, then he's got this right here, this out. This quick out right here, that's his outlet. Just like a while ago, we had the guy that running the under. Similar scenario here. Okay? So, this is a front side read, and you're reading the force defender. Okay, don't worry about the quarterback's red line. Let me take him out of there. Okay? Now, what I would do here is run your sweep, give the ball or right here. See, the back doesn't even know. He's running right here. Whether he gets the ball or not, that's what he's doing. The quarterback's going to stick it in his belly and ride into side, looking at the force player. He's the one coming up to force the run back inside. Okay, he's your contained guy, so to speak. Use that old term. All right, now, if he comes up, quarterback disconnect and throw. If he stays, then it means it's soft. He's soft because he's staying. We call that being soft. Then we're going to kick him and run underneath him, giving the ball to the running back. If he expands, because whatever, say he's over here and they're playing some kind of pattern match or man coverage, and he does this, automatic disconnect. Even though the run would be there, you can see that. But you don't give the quarterback but one read. You give him 2 decisions to make. Either give it, pull it, and throw it. Give it or pull it and throw it. That's your choices. You don't say, well, if he does this, you don't give him a third option. Okay? So you just tell him, and you can use any term you want. You say, hey, if he can't make the play on the slant, pull it and throw it. All right, so if he comes up, he can't. If he expands, he can't. So that's how you determine who you're reading. You go ahead and you predetermine it. You can have it built into your offense, or you can just have a tag, a word that you call, hey, on this one we're reading this guy. Now the problem with tagging it, you got to tag it to the line too, because especially on those inside RPOs, you don't want a lineman going to block the read. It's just like when we used to run the triple option. If we were going to read the defensive end, the worst thing to happen would be for the left tackle to go block the read, because now the quarterback doesn't have a read. Okay, if you want to make a quarterback panic, take away his read. What do you do now? Because we always tell him, say, run where the hole is, run where the blocking is. That's what we say if that ever happens. I hope I cleared up some of this. We're coming up on 20 minutes. If you have any questions, siegel.chip@gmail.com or football talk with Coach Chip footballtalk@gmail.com. Somebody be the first one to send me an email to that email address. Football Talk with Coach Chip. No spaces, no dashes, no dots. Okay, at gmail.com. Football Talk with Coach Chip at gmail.com. Don't forget to tune in to the Johnny Buckets podcast with our boy Thrift Behringer. Don't forget, if you're anywhere near West Point, Georgia, swing by Johnny's New York style pizza and get you some magic disc. They're so good. They're so good. And if you're in the hunt for some property, or you want you a house, you want a rental property up here in this beautiful area, the Pine Mountain, Callaway Gardens area, I know just the person to call. That's Tammy Pierce Realty, right here in beautiful downtown Pine Mountain. Hit me up. I'll give you your phone number. Hashtag call the lady. Hashtag be elite. See y'all later. Bye.